So one of the most looming questions I've seen on Twitter since March 25th is, am I going to get into Elden Ring? I'm a new player. Should I start this game? Is it too hard for me? Is it too late for someone new to jump into the Soulsborne franchise games? And I'm here to kind of answer any bit of those questions for you guys as a new Souls player. So we're going to get right into should you play Elden Ring as a new FromSoftware player? Welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day. Like I said, we're going to be getting into should you play Elden Ring as a new player to the FromSoftware franchise. As always, my name is Ross. We don't have an article today like we normally do. This is going to be straight just from personal perspective of playing Elden Ring as a new player to the FromSoftware franchise. And, to simplify the video, yes, play the game. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing here if you guys are new to the channel and haven't done so already and enjoy the content. And just turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So like I said, the simple answer of should you play Elden Ring as a new player is yes. Elden Ring is a fantastic RPG game that breaks down a lot of core, simple RPG elements while also introducing the FromSoftware formula that everyone knows and loves / sometimes can hate. So my background is from a FromSoftware player. I attempted to play the original Dark Souls back on, I think, Xbox 360 when it came out when I was probably 15 or 16. And I remember at GameStop when I pulled up to the counter and went to go pay, and the guy was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, this looks kind of cool." And he's like, "Do you know how hard it is?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "It's actually this new formula, it's very hard to play this game." And I was like, "No, it'll be fine." I went home and I think I played 5 minutes of Dark Souls 1 and never touched the game again. It was that hard and I didn't understand it. I was a little bit less mature and, didn't get into the hard mechanics of that game. Fast forward to 2016, Dark Souls 3 comes out. I played a little bit more of that, but still I just wasn't getting it. I did do a little bit of the co-op with one of my buddies, but still, again, I didn't understand the FromSoftware formula, so it's just going into it blind. I didn't know. Now fast forward to getting the PS5 and Demon Souls. I didn't get Demon Souls till about a year after the game came out, around November of 2021, and I did get into that. I started to do a little bit more research, and this is one of the biggest tips I'll tell new players to do, especially if you're at a setup with a multiple monitor setup. I always have YouTube on one monitor, and then I have my game on one, and I'm looking stuff up. I don't care to ruin too much of the exploration. I just want to enjoy my time playing the game, and if that means me having to look walkthroughs up and tutorials and where to find things and how to just get better at upgrading your character, I'm going to do that, and it's been pretty much the best formula for me so far. So I got through a few of the worlds in Demon Souls, but that was, leading up to Elden Ring coming out. I also dabbled with Bloodborne a little bit later. Right after I was playing Demon Souls, I dabbled into Bloodborne a little bit. That still feels a little bit outdated. In this franchise, it's all about timing and movement. So playing a game that's 30 frames per second was a little bit more frustrating. But I did get through, the first world. And this was I started Bloodborne, I think, probably a month before the Elden Ring came out. So it was I was just dabbling with it, trying to get better at the formula. Now, Elden Ring. I have about 40-something hours clocked in. This is the furthest I've ever made it in a FromSoftware game. It is, as they've said, or what people are saying, is the most accessible Souls game. And that is not to say that Elden Ring doesn't have its challenges, but there's a little bit more. If there's a will, there's a way, and there's no getting stuck. If you're stuck on a boss, you don't have to keep going that way to progress through the game. You can go venture for 40 more hours doing other things. And that's really where the game rewards you, is the exploration. Make sure you're always running into your barrels, breaking everything, finding those little caves and crevices you can on the map. It's just the best part about Elden Ring is that exploration, and that's where I think a lot of that influence came from Breath of the Wild in that open world environment. It also does feel a little bit like one of my favorite games of all time, Skyrim, while still introducing that FromSoftware difficulty. And like I said, this game is not to be taken that it's not difficult. I struggled with Margit, the first boss, the main story boss, and Godric. I think it took me about 20 attempts each person with the summon that the game gave you. And with my enchantment things, like when I was calling the wolves in to help me. I don't remember the name of it right now, but I had help in these fights and I was still dying. But I was able to walk away from them for a few hours, go do some other stuff, do some dungeons, just find better gear, farm a camp and just build my character up. And then you can go back to that fight and it makes a whole different experience, but you never felt stuck anymore. And that's where I think a lot of older players with Dark Souls games who tried to jump into it as a new person didn't really, you were stuck. I mean, you had to beat the boss and you had to figure it out. And that's where the term get good came from. And again, like I said, this game does have its challenges. The two other biggest tips I'll do is do your research before going into the game. There's two channels I recommend that you watch. One I watch solely based on for character builds and thinking about going into the game. You usually have a typical character you like to play in RPG games, so that kind of carries over. I've always been the sword and shield guy, so I kind of went with the same thing, and my character is actually the confessor, which has been, I think, fantastic so far with the 100% blocking damage with the shield. But for you, people are thinking that, the mages or the spellcasters, those are a little bit more of a cheat code because you can do a lot of damage at range. But I mean, it's all up to you. Or if you want to play the Wretch, then you're literally playing at a 0 leveled character. There's nothing, That's more or less I think the Wretch is a little bit more for the hardcore fans of the game. But my personal preference, I recommend something like the Confessor. But the other channel I do recommend watching is Fighting Cowboy, who does walkthroughs. That's where I really learned how to play Demon Souls, was just watching his walkthroughs, and it did make a big difference. The challenge is still there. You do have a little bit of a heads up of things, and some things can get spoiled, but the good thing about Elden Ring is once you can kind of master what's going on, you can kind of take it from there and do it on your own, like I have been. Another feature you could also sample with if you are on a PlayStation 5, like I do with my buddy, is you can screen share on PlayStation 5. So as I'm playing, in front of me right here, I can put his screen up on the corner of my TV and I can see what he's doing, and then he can see what I'm doing. And it's you're kind of playing multiplayer without the risk of invasion. And it's a really cool feature for people who do have the PS5 to take advantage of. It also just makes it a little bit more fun of an experience to kind of cheer your buddy on while you're fighting a boss. He was doing that for me the whole time while I was fighting Godric, and we were just getting excited. So it was a great feature. But like I said, as a new player for Elden Ring, I just highly recommend the game. I think everyone should give it a chance. It's so much fun. It's addicting. You want to keep building your character up. You want to be finding those better armor sets. You want to be finding the better weapons. And a lot of the game, like I said, the game rewards you for the exploration. So there's a lot of secrets out there that it's just this weird excitement to just figure these things out. And that's where the addiction part of the game comes in. It's just so much fun, and I highly recommend it. So that's going to do it for today. Like I said, this was just literally straight off the dome, my opinion of Elden Ring and should you play it as a new player, and a little bit about my experience as a new player in the FromSoftware franchise getting into this game. So 10 out of 10, recommend the game. If you haven't gotten already, if you are able to, go get it. If you guys did start Elden Ring, let me know what your classes are down below, and let me know how you guys are doing in the game, see how far you got. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope to cover a little bit more Elden Ring details on the channel. And just, keep covering the game we love. So, as always, if you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing here if you guys are new to the channel and want to stay up to date on all the latest gaming news we cover here. And turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. As always, my name is Ross, and I will see you guys in the next video.